What it be? What it doing? How's it going? It's your homeboy Funky Luffy here with another read-through of, I almost said my previous story, second, Love and Slavery by Phantom Rider 23. Big shout out to him if you want to see his work. His link will be in the description section down below. Okay, so, yeah, get this, guys. Yesterday, I was informed that a new subscriber has just joined the channel. So, give a shout out to. Wait a minute, Zach. Yeah, one more second. Solar Wolf. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. And, Sir or Myth, I don't know what gender you are or anything, but thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. You make me step one step a few thousand more subscribers. I feel so small to all the other sister and bronies YouTubing channels. I feel small. I'm a tiny dude, okay? Don't blame me. I just jumped into this, okay? But 20 subscribers for me, 21 technically, isn't really that bad. Isn't really that bad, really. Anyway, we're doing a read through of Love and Slavery. And it is chapter 2 with Rarity, Scars, and Pain. That's an interesting chapter title there. I'm excited. Oh, sir, it involves slavery. I mean, like, come on, guys. You know, in ancient history, if I had the will to go back in time, I would have made sure none of that happened. I mean, come on. It's just wrong, okay? I mean, they were humans like us, but back then, people saw them as nothing more of tools or something. And not to mention, not right to vote when they got their freedom as well, so that's just wrong. I'm against the slavery thing, alright? Even through history, sure, I wish I could go back and, like side with them or something, but it's just wrong, okay? Just wrong. I mean, it was painful for me to go through, like, history classes when it brought up that stuff. It's just wrong. But the cringing's real. However, it involves with a little romance, and it has one of my favorite ponies of the main six, Applejack. And I am so happy to read this. So anyway, enough of this nagging from me. Without further ado, let's read. Okay, guys, so I'm using the wrapping paper again, because, I mean, come on, Christmas is in, like, 5 days, guys. 5 days! I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for it! Woo! Anyway, let's get the read on. Let's get this reading on! And we begin. If you hear me chewing, sorry. Chewing like gum makes my mouth water. Water mouth. It makes it easier. Anyway. Okay, and if you guys have a problem with my voice acting, don't judge me, okay? It's hard to keep an accent, you know? I mean, sure, I do the nigga, and then go back to my normal voice. Or, I give it to a Scottish or Irish accent, and then go back to my normal voice. It's hard for me to keep an accent of anything whatsoever. So, yeah, for my voice acting, give me some credit here. I'm trying my best. Oh, by the way, if you want to know what my Twitter name is, it's FunkyLuffy441. So, for those of my previous chapter of my channel, of my challenge, I will be checking that today. Hopefully there might be something good. Anyway, let's get this reading through. Let's get this read on, boys and ladies. Okay, Chapter 2, Rarity, Scars, and Pain. Oh, it's paint? I thought it was pain. Oops. I guess I need to read a little thoroughly next time. Oops. Celestia's sun was slowly beginning to rise over the land as the sleepy ponies below began to start their day. Applejack heard the rooster crow. Sorry. Waking her from her sweet slumber. I need a vacation. No dope, Sherlock! I thought I heard something. Okay, anyway. She got out of her bed as she made her way towards her bathroom. AJ looked into the mirror and noticed the crow's feet. The crow's feet under her eyelids. Crow's feet? Is that what you call the bags under your eyes? Crow's feet? That's interesting. Under eyelids. That shower should wake me right up. Once she finished her shower, she walked out into her room and walked over to her mirror. As she grabbed the brush off the table to brush her mane. As she brushed her mane, she noticed Matt was standing outside of the barn with the tray she had given him last night on the ground next to him. He's up already? She looked towards her clock and noticed it was 6:23. Applejack sighed as she looked back into the mirror. Rarity won't be for another few hours. Might as well get some work done. Sorry, if you hear me like munching on something, I'm like doing a candy cane. Okay, it's minty and I just made my own homemade garlic bread. So yeah, it wasn't really simple. Basically, I just toasted some pieces of bread and like put some butter on it, then some like garlic powder and like pepper for extra flavoring. So yeah, it wasn't that bad, but not enough. I don't know if I didn't add enough pepper or garlic in it. So pardon my munchingness. I heard mint is the best way to get rid of garlic breath. Yeah, so sorry about that. Anywho, I'll just get back to the reading. As she brushed her mane, oh wait, I already read that. Applejack sighed as she looked back into the mirror. I already read that too. Okay, she placed her brush down on her table as she made her way out of her room. She grabbed 2 apples from the basket sitting on the table near the door. This should hold us over till Big Mac cooks breakfast. Interesting. She made her way outside and made her way over towards Matt. Morning, I brought you something to hold you till Big Mac gets up and starts cooking, she said, tossing the apple towards Matt. Matt caught the apple in his hand. Thank you, Miss AJ. You can just call me AJ. Sorry. Now, if you follow me, I'll show you what we need to do today, she said, starting to walk down the pathway. Ugh. Sorry, I'm having like mono moments. Applejack walked up to the tree and gave it a buck, knocking all the apples off the tree and into the basket below. I'll buck the trees and you just take the basket over to the wagon and load 'em up, she said, walking over to another tree and doing the same as before. Sorry, guys. I'm having like some stomach issue. Ooh, garlicky. Ooh. Ugh. Ugh. So pardon my spikes. Yes, I call them a burp spikes, because, come on, Spike burps like 24/7. So, sorry. By the way, AJ's out with the other girls doing some other stuff as well. I have no idea what. I'm still kind of scared of what Pinkie Pie might pop out somewhere, um, or what she's going to give me for Christmas. Crystal has been quiet lately. She's just been chilling out in her little, cocoon thing on my ceiling. Which is kind of creepy, really, because it reminds me of like a weird, like a scene off of a movie. Can't remember which. I think it was like Alien. Then again, I never watched it, but I heard from stuff from it from other people, and it doesn't make me want to watch it. Literally, doesn't. Let alone read the comic book of it as well. So yeah. Anyway. Okay, where did I leave off before I was bantering on? Jack walked up to the tree. I'm gonna load him up, she said, walking over to another tree and doing the same as before. Matt did as he was told and picked up the basket and placed them on the wagon. Noon came along and Matt finished putting the last of the baskets on the wagon. The last of the baskets are on the wagon, Miss AJ, Matt said as he wiped the sweat off his forehead. Wonder why Big Man has come by to tell us how breakfast is done. Wait, hold it. Time out. Let me read this again. Noon came and they have their breakfast at noon? That's like brunch. What the frick? Huh. Yeah, that's inconvenient whatsoever. Anywho. Okay. AJ asked out loud as she made her way towards the wagon. Guess we'll find out when we drop off this wagon at the barn. If you want, I could pull the wagon. Nah, I'm fine with pulling the wagon, she said as she hooked herself up to the wagon and began to pull. Matt noticed she was having a hard time pulling the heavy wagon. Here, let me help you, he offered, getting behind the wagon as he gave a push, making it easier for AJ to pull. Thank you kindly, Matt. They parked the wagon in front of the barn. Well, unload these later. I'm going to go see what's taking Big Mac so long with breakfast. She looked up towards the sky. Should I say lunch? That's what I said! Oh! Chrysalis cocoon just slimed me. Gross! Oh! I don't know why she even put it up over my office desk. Gross! Oh, it's in my mouth. Oh. It tastes like slimy raw spinach. I'm gonna hurl. Oh. Jehoshaphat, that was gnarly. Ugh. There's a note in there. Slimy. Well, let me see what I can read off of it. Went out for a bite. Be back short soon. Yours truly, Chrysalis. Ain't that convenient. Wait, a bite? Ugh. If I find she's been biting something, I'm going to defangerize her. Defang her. Anyway. Ugh, gross. Oh, God, it stinks. Ugh. She made her way towards her home as Matt opened the back of the wagon. He opened the barn door and began to unload the wagon. Applejack walked into her home to see Big Mac in the kitchen cooking lunch and not breakfast. Oh, sorry. Mind telling me why you don't come get me when breakfast was done? She asked, glaring at her brother. Sorry, completely forgot, he said, looking at his sister. I'm making lunch to make up for breakfast. Alright, well, you can't forget about making me and Matt lunch. I'm going to take Matt into town to get him some clothes. We'll get some lunch while we're out. Thank you. I have no clue what I'm doing, Big Mac said, turning off the stove and dumping the burnt food into the trash. Obviously, he's not the brightest one around the kitchen. He ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Kitchen joke! Sorry. She chuckled. I'll bring you back something. Thank you. She chuckled again as she left her brother to clean up his mess. She walked out the door to see Matt closing the wagon and saw it completely empty. Did he just unload that whole wagon by himself? That was fast. She noticed Matt looked at her, which made her quickly clear her mind as she walked over towards him. You didn't have to unload the wagon. You could have taken a break. I thought it would be wise to get them inside so we wouldn't have to do it later, he said. Well, glad you did now. Now, I'm going to take you into town and get you some new clothes. Like I said before, you don't need to get me new clothes. I'm happy with what I have.
What? I can smell this dirty laundry right through the screen. Oh, talk about smell a screen.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's just me. Well, slime thing gets really gnarly stinky. Oh, gross. Anywho. Shoot, I lost my spot. He said, trying to avoid going into town. No, you're going to need some clothes that don't have holes in them, she said, getting behind Matt and giving him a push. If I have to push you all the way there, then so be it. All right, I'll go, he said, taking a step forward. Applejack smiles as she walked alongside him. Cocky little bugger. Rarity was humming. Sorry, I got caught up. Humming as she moved along the room, pulling out different color fabrics as she started to create a new dress. But her creativity would have to wait as she heard a knock at her door. But I'm not even done! Like I said, it's kind of hard to do a female fancy pants voice. I mean, 19-giant-year-old dude trying to do a Little Pony voice. A Little Pony, a My Little Pony woman's voice. Okay? Anyway, she yelled in her mind. She looked towards the door. Whoever is knocking better have something important to say, or I'll destroy them. I'll destroy them with an iron hoof. I was about to say fist. Don't judge me. She quickly looked herself over into the mirror to make sure she wasn't a mess and made her way towards her door. Applejack stood just outside Rarity's boutique. La boutique. Pardon me. You're gonna like the clothing Rarity makes, AJ said, looking at Matt. The door opened and Rarity stood with a smile on her face. Applejack, what do I owe the honor of this visit? She asked as she noticed the human next to her. I came to ask you a favor. Hold on, spike attack! Oh. Inhale, burp, and then exhale. Oh, my bad, guys. Okay. I came to ask you a favor, she said. You see, Matt here needs a new set of clothing, and I thought you could help out. But if you're too busy and you don't have time to worry about, and you but if you are thank slap it blah blah blah. But if you're too busy, you don't have to worry about it. Bye. I'm just joking. The bye one was my part. Matt said, making AJ look at him. Why doesn't he want a new set of clothes? She thought. Wait, was that AJ or something? I think that was AJ. Okay, let me try again. Why doesn't he want a new set of clothes? She thought. I'm in the middle of making a new dress, but it's been a while since I made an outfit for a human. She done it before? Huh? I just need to take a few measurements and get my old human measure out. Old human? Oh, what did? Huh? Okay, now I need a backstory of this. Jeez, she said, walking back into her home as her mind was flooded with new ideas of clothes for Matt. Boom, boom, boom. AJ stepped inside and saw fabric all over the floor and her friend pulling out more fabric. Mother of God, help us now. Okay, dear, if you would please stand on this and take off your shirt. What? Okay. Matt slowly backed towards the door. Can I keep my shirt on? I'm going to make sure my measurements are correct, she said, noticing how close he was to the door. Now, if you are worried about AJ here looking, I'll have her turn around. That's not the problem, he said, trying not to look at the mare. Oh, so the mares are the females. Gentle mare. Okay, now I understand. Okay. Mares is female and colts are male. Okay, now I got that analogy down. Matt felt strange as he looked at his body to see it encased a light blue aura. Oh boy! He felt himself lift into the air and landed on the platform Rarity wanted him to stand on. Now, if you would be so kind to remove your shirt, we can get started. Can I please keep my shirt on? He asked as he kept looking at the floor. Applejack noticed his eyes were bloodshot as he stared at the floor. He looks like he's about to cry. But why? She thought. Rarity, why don't you just do what you'd normally do, but with his shirt on? AJ said, looking at her friend, who looked at Matt, who was still looking at the floor. This made Rarity notice his bloodshot eyes. Oh, well, you can keep your shirt on. I'll just try my best to make sure I have everything correct, she said as she got to work. As Rarity moved along Matt's side, she noticed one of the tears in his clothes, and that's when she saw a very long. As Rarity moved along Matt's side, she noticed one of the tears in his clothes, and that's when he saw a very long scar running across his skin. That's why he didn't want his shirt off. He's been abused. When Rarity finished her measurements, she wrote them down in her book. AJ, do you mind if I talk to you in private for a moment? Sure. The two stepped into the back room as Rarity closed the door. First things first, when did you buy a human? Well, here's the funny story. Rarity asked as she walked over towards her fridge and pulled out a bottle of water. I didn't buy a human. That's the funny part. My cousin Brayburn bought him and gave him to me as a gift. That's even the more funniest part, she said. The only reason I took him is so I can set him free. That's the third funny part. You plan on setting him free? I'm glad to hear it. It's about time some pony did some good for these humans. Rarity's one of them too. Ah! Okay, guys, I'm going to need to be a little more quiet now because my mother is babysitting, so the babies are asleep above my room, so I gotta be a little more quiet. Hopefully, I can keep that without freaking out on some parts. Anyway. Dang flab at that spike. Oh, my bad, guys. Free for the humans, Rarity said with a smile. This surprised Applejack as she thought her friend wouldn't agree with her. Now, another reason why I brought you in here is because I noticed a long scar across Matt's side. I didn't get a good look at it, but it looks like a whip mark. Ooh. How do you know it looks like a whip mark? Rarity, do you have something to tell us? As AJ asked, curious as to how Rarity would know this. I've made a few clothes for some humans before, and I've noticed the marks on their backs. Me being who I am told, that authorities and they said they would handle it, she said, taking a sip of water. And what do you want me to do about it? Asked AJ. Nothing. However, whoever owned him before must have hit him. You might want to get him to open up and tell you about his marks. Then it hit her. Matt didn't want Rarity to remove his shirt, but if it was just on one scar, he would make up a lie. He must be had more scars on his back, Applejack sighed. Rarity, can you also make him some PJs? Of course, darling. I'll make him a whole set. Sweet mother of Celestia and Luna, please help us now, she said with a smile. Oh, the ideas! I'm trying, guys. Thank you, Rarity, AJ said with a smile. I'm glad I have such good friends. Now, all you gotta do now is to see them is all the other ponies that he needs to see now is Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, and Twilight. Sparkle. Sparkle. Oh, and Apple Bloom. Okay. It's no problem. I'll have some clothes ready for him around 9 tonight. I'll even bring them by myself, she said. You don't have to do that. But I do, she said as she started walking towards the door. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, Matt, do you like the color red? AJ chuckled as she walked back into the room as she watched Rarity pull out different colors for Matt to pick out. She noticed his normally straight face curl into a smile. First time I've seen him smile since he's been here. Ugh. I have to say, you know a lot about what colors you want. In my spare time, I paint, said Matt. My last My last owner loved my painting and would ask me to paint her. I see, and do you enjoy painting? Yes, I enjoy it very much. Since we're out, we'll have to pick up some paint set, AJ said, jumping in. You don't have to do that, Miss AJ. It's AJ on Applejack. He said. She noticed the smile on his face fade as he looked at her. Wonder why he stopped smiling. I have an old paint set upstairs, and only thing I need is some paint. And the only thing it needs is some paint, Rarity said, putting the fabric down. I'll go get it and give it to you as a gift. You don't have to do that, Matt said. But I do, darling, she said. Oh, I like this voice. Leaving the two alone. When we're done here, we'll pick up some paint, AJ said, taking a seat next to Matt. You don't. Matt was cut off by AJ's hoof as it touched his lips. You're going to have to stop that, AJ said, removing her hoof. I'm trying to make you happy while you're here. If you need paint for this paint set, then we'll pick some up. If you need clothes, we'll get you clothes. If you need a book, we'll go see Twilight since she runs the library and that, she said, giving Matt a smile. You don't need to worry about being yelled at or told we spent bits on you, so you have to do as you say. Just enjoy your time here. Thank you, Miss AJ, said Matt said, giving her a small smile. And you gotta stop calling me Miss. It sounds like an old mare, she said, cracking a smile. I'll try, AJ. There you go. My blade, that's about time. Seriously. About time. Sorry about that. Alright, I got the paint set. Rarity came down the stairs with a big box. It's been so long since I've seen this old thing. I hope you'll enjoy it, she said, giving the box to Matt. Matt opened the box and looked inside to see all the paintbrushes and a few blank canvases and easily inside. An easel inside. Thank you, Miss Rarity. You're welcome, she said with a smile. Now that I know what you want, you two can go do whatever you want while I get to work on your clothes. Before the two could say anything, they were shoved out the door closet. The door closed. They heard a lock and a click. Guess she really wants to work on your clothes. Guess so. The two walked through the busy streets of Ponyville. Applejack noticed that the looks that got as they walked the streets. She could hear the whispers. Is that Applejack? I thought she didn't like humans, said a mare. I bet she bought him because she can't get a boyfriend, said another. Yeah, 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 yeah! I just went on a rampage and the story will held. This is between us guys. Nobody else. Pardon my curly angry sounds. Yes, I watch Three Stooges on occasions. Shush up. I heard she uses him for kinky stuff. Okay, now they're just spreading wrong rumors. Why I yada. Abject's temper was getting the best of her when she heard Matt. Don't listen to them. They just want to get your blood boiling, he said as they walked. How do you know that? I was thinking. AJ asked, surprised. I saw the look in your eye. Hmm. Look into my eyes. I'll enchant you into my spell. Oh, God damn it, I did it! Sorry, guys. Oof, I'm getting loud again. Oof, gotta be quiet. Little baby's asleep. I saw the look in your eyes. You were getting angry at what the others were saying. Dang flabbit it all. Ooh. Pardon my sprite. That was a doozy of one. Others were saying, he said, looking forward. As you would put it, this ain't my first rodeo. Nice line, sir. Props to you. That was a clever line there, Phantom Rider 23. That was a good one right there. Funny, she said with a smile. So, where do you want to eat? Wherever you want to, Miss AJ. Oh, come on! Matt said. Enough with the missy stuff. I know a place, she said, looking at the restaurant in front of her.
Oh, sorry guys, the slush thing is like gross as all get out. Be right back.
Okay. Wait, was that playing the whole time? Whatever. Anyway, if you hear like absolutely nothing throughout the entire time or anything, sorry. Anyway, I managed to get that freaking sludgy stuff off. Ugh. Ugh, God, I'm going to need like at least 80 pounds of scented candles. Eesh. It was bad, guys. It was so bad. Anyway. Okay. Wherever you want is AJ, Matt said. I know a place, she said, looking at the restaurant in front of them. It was one of those fancy restaurants. It was a simple restaurant. You're gonna like the food. The two walked up to the restaurant. Welcome to the Cannon Club restaurant. How can I help you? I'm sorry, I didn't. No. The, the mayor at the door said with a smile. Okay, maybe getting this gum was a bad idea. Give me a sec, guys. I didn't mean to chew in your ear. Can I get a table for two? Of course, the mayor said as she waved for the two to follow her. Ugh. Matt looked around to see some humans sitting inside the restaurant eating on the left side while the ponies on the right sat and ate. Your human will have to eat. Go sit with the other humans, the mayor said, stopping Matt in his tracks. He's going to sit with me, AJ said, looking at the mayor. I'm sorry, but the law states that no human can sit with a pony in a restaurant. But if the pony has medical problems and needs a human by his or her side, then the human is allowed to be with that pony. Oh wait, but if the pony has a medical problem and needs a human by his or her side, then the human is allowed to be with that pony, Matt said, remembering when his old owner used this to get him to sit with her during lunch when the two would go enjoy Celestia's beautiful son. And what medical problem does she have? The mayor asked. I have blackouts, AJ said. If I don't have Matt here giving me my pills and might not wake up. The mayor looked at the two and allowed Matt to walk through. Here are your menus, the mayor said, placing them in front of the two. When you are ready to order, just wave for me. The mayor walked away and AJ sighed. Where do you learn that about that loophole? Where do you learn about that loophole? AJ asked. My last owner. She used to take me to restaurants and never want me to leave her side, so she made up this fake medical problem, and I would be sitting there with her, Matt said, looking over the menu. Good to know, AJ said. So tell me a little about yourself. There isn't really anything to know, Matt said, and he placed the menu down, knowing what he wanted to eat. Your pint, that has to be more to you than that, she said, placing on placing her own menu down. That's really it. I just paint, he said, looking away from her. Do you read in your spare time? She asked. No, I'm not really a big book person, he said, looking back at her. So that book I gave you to read wasn't good then, Matt said. I can't read. What the beep? He looked down at the menu. You can't read? She asked, shocked. Yes, I can't read. I say again. What the beep? But how? She asked as she noticed his menu had pictures and hers didn't. I thought you knew. Humans aren't allowed to read or write or paint, he said. That's just wrong. You what wait. Hold it. Time out. Rewind all this shit. You tell them humans there are not allowed to read, write, or paint? Hmm? The story just going downhill for me. I'm done. And I'm joking. So basically, they just get a picture book. Oof. Paint, he said. That's just wrong. You have a mind, she said, getting very angry. Calm down, Miss AJ. If you get angry here, we might get kicked out, he said, getting worried as he noticed the other ponies looking at them. AJ noticed this and tried to calm her angry mind. All right. When we get home, I'll teach you how to read, she said. You don't have to do that, Miss AJ. I do, she said, looking at Matt. You deserve to know how to read. My last owner, Miss Sawdust, was teaching me how to read, he said in a whimper. She did? Why? AJ said. She believed that what you believe, she said as he noticed the mayor walking back over towards them. Are you two ready to order? She asked. Yes, I'll have the salad with extra tomatoes and extra ranch, AJ said, handing her the menu. I'll just have the fish. Oh, all right. I'll have your food ready for you to real soon, she said, leaving the two. You eat fish? AJ said. I know ponies don't eat it, but when I saw it on the menu, I thought it would taste good, he said. Remind me to buy you some fish then, she said as she took a sip of her water. You don't need to do that. Remember what I said, she said, reminding him he needs to enjoy his time here. Matt nodded his head. Good. So we need paint and fish before we head home. Anything else? That would be it, he said as he felt himself smile. It's a shame he's going to end like last time. Shaman has to. It's it's a shame it's going to end like last time, a voice said, making his smile fade as he watched the mayor return with his food. Uh, oof. Whoa, what? I'm not confused here. I'm like confuzzled. Celestia's sun began to go on its seat, on its setting. AJ noticed this. Oh, I skipped the line too. I'm like missed an entire part. After the two ate their meals, they got what they needed from the market and made their way home. Oh, when the two arrived home at AJ helped Matt set up his painting equipment in the barn. All right, you all set up now, AJ said with a smile. Thank you, he said. Oh, pardon my spike. I'm sorry, I'm spiking a lot in your ears, guys. Oh, I have a little stomach indigestion apparently. Oh, oh. Guys, I gotta work tonight. I don't really want to go to work today. It's 3 to close shift, so I thought I'd do a read through before I have to leave. It's 3 to 11, so. AJ noticed the smile he returned, and she was happy to see it. You're welcome, she said as she made her way out the barn. I better give Big Mac his lunch. If you need me, now you know where to find me. She left Matt to do whatever he wanted to. Celestia's sun began to go on its setting journey. When Matt set up outside near the fence, now that he could paint once more, he could at least capture the beauty of the rolling hills, illuminating in Celestia's light on his canvas. As his brush busily tried to duplicate his beauty, the sharp, joyous bark of a dog caught his attention. His eyes snapped to the source to find Applejack hauling a wagon full of apples. A yellow filly lied on the peak of the mound, her face in the quiet state of sleep. The scene before him was very more beautiful and pictures the picture I can't read that. Then the hills. They lay before him. A smile silently grew across his face as he brought out a new canvas. The brush danced across the plain surface, attempting to immortalize the scene its wielder was witnessing. Every stroke was soft yet firm, and every line flowed in the serenity of tranquility. The look on Matt's face grew more tender, yet focused. with every stroke of the brush. His smile, this moment, was something that he knew no one could take away from him. This feeling was one that was his, and his alone. In the radiance of Celestia's setting sun, with these thoughts in mind, and the air of complete relaxed bliss, he painted Applejack picked up her sister. He painted. Ugh. Applejack picked up her sleeping sister. Oop, I'm like screwing up now. Sleeping sister, and carried her back inside as she noticed Max sitting out near the fence painting, and this made her smile. I'm glad to see him doing something that makes him happy. Matt noticed AJ was going back inside. He then noticed the sunlight that was allowing him to paint was slowly fading. I better take this inside. I have what I need to finish this, he thought, grabbing his gear and taking it back to the barn. When he finished putting his things away, he noticed the wagon of apples just sitting there, and he knew the birds would come for them if he didn't get it inside the barn. So Matt walked over to the wagon, pulled it inside, and placed it in a stall. There we go, he thought as he made his way over to his bed to lie down. Dinner's Dinner's done. Matt looked up to see AJ standing in the doorway with a tray of food. I Mag make you some fish. Thank you, but I could have eaten what you guys were eating, he said, taking the tray. I figured you would like some fish instead of oats, she said. Matt chuckled. You're right. Applejack giggled while, well, you know what to do when you're done with your food. Tomorrow I'm going to teach you how to read, she said, making her way to the door. Applejack stopped, dead in her tracks, as she turned her head to look at Matt. She was surprised to hear her full name coming from Matt. Yes? Thank you for everything, he said with a smile. You're welcome, Matthew. She made her way out the door. Good night, mate. Good night, AJ. AJ smiled as she walked back towards the house. I see trees of green, clouds made of white. Oh, I don't know why I started singing that. She walked over to her mirror, grabbing her brush, and brushed her mane. She looked into her mirror and saw Matt sitting on a stool as he painted. This brought a smile to her face, and she brushed her mane. After brushing her mane, she made her way to bed and got ready for a good night's sleep. Matt covered the painting up so no pony could see it till he was done. He looked over at his coat and saw the bags of clothes Rarity had dropped off for him. I have to say, Miss Rarity knows how to make some nice clothes, he thought as he looked for a pair of PJs. Here we go. He put the PJs on and got into bed. His mind drifted into darkness as a blue mist entered the barn. The mist took form of a pony, and the pony just looked at Matt. I am sorry I couldn't keep my promise to your parents, Matthew, but now that I shall continue to watch over you, to protect you, the pony said, I will make sure your dreams are full of happiness. Okay, we all know, one princess who has a dark blue aura and makes happy dreams. We all talking about Luna, ladies and gentlemen. Luna knows something about this boy that no one else does. Now, what could that be? I'm curious. Anyway, the pony waved her hoof over Matt's sleeping body, and the blue mist dropped onto his body as a smile crossed his face. Sleep tight, Matthew. The pony faded away.
To be continued.
Okay, so we all know that Luna knows something about this Machu guy and about his parents. I'm feeling in one chapter we're going to have a flashback. Anyway, this chapter was fantastic. Fantastico! So fantastico! No, sorry, excuse me, I got caught up. Anyway, no crying from my wee little brother or the other ones. Yes, my mother's still babysitting. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this read-through. Big shout out to Phantom Rider 23. If you want to read more of his stuff or the holiday special, go to my channel and look it up. Also, if you want to hear my previous read-through of My Little Pony and Human Fortune Magic by Shinoi Jump Boy, check out my channel and the playlist that I have created for it. I'm also making a playlist of this as well. So, also, you can also push that big thumbs up like button down below, along with that subscription and notification bell to let you know when I've been doing some more updates and whatnot. Thank you so much for listening. This is your homeboy, Funky Liffy, signing out.